Let's get back to the basics of enjoying wine. Today on Let's Wine a Little, we will review the 5 steps to the art of tasting wine. And we know that these tips will take your wine experience to the very next level. We also have a few wine gifts that will make your wine heart happy, and it'll probably even encourage you to host a wine tasting event of your own. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to Let's Wine a Little. Now, I don't know if you've ever had this experience. I mean, I had it years ago and it kind of caught me off guard, but I watched a number of movies, so I figured I could finagle my way through. You're at a restaurant. You want to purchase a glass or a bottle of wine. The waiter or waitress comes to your table. They present a glass with a little bit of wine in there, and a few ounces. And they just present it. And from there, you're supposed to do what? Now, if you have watched a number of movies, videos, maybe some shows, then you understand that the waiter or waitress is waiting for you to taste the wine. Nobody likes to get a bottle of wine that they don't want to drink, because it's just, okay, take it back. Nobody likes to get any bottle of anything or cocktail that they don't want to drink. It's called alcohol abuse. We don't want to waste things like that. Okay, let me get serious. But the waiter or waitress is waiting for you to taste the wine. And you ask yourself, what exactly am I looking for? How do I know what I'm tasting? What are the steps to tasting this wine besides just drinking it and saying, "Oh, that's great. Bring me some more of that." Okay. You can do all of those things, but you can also do a quick tasting while you're there as well. So let's talk about the wine tasting and the 5 steps that go with it. So first of all, tasting your wine is more than just the physical act of tasting the wine and drinking the wine. You want to enjoy the wine. You want to go through the feelings, and I hate to say emotion, but there's some emotion built in to these wines. It's not just, let me just drink it and call it a day. Like, that's not it. We're going to talk about what those steps are so that you, moving forward, can truly enjoy the wine, but also continue to grow your wine knowledge and your palate. And your nose too. The nose knows. The nose knows? The nose does know. Okay, the nose does know. So let's go over the 5 steps first before we get into the wine that we are going to taste today. We're going to do it together, grab what you got, and we're going to make sure that this wine tasting is not only fun, but also educational. And if I may, that's the biggest part of wine tasting. Yes, you can find something new to drink, and that's great, but it should be fun and it should be educational. And this is that great way to explore this huge, vast world of grapes that have been fermented in a bottle. And, well, yes. Okay, so what are those 5 steps? Here are the 5 steps to tasting wine. Number 1, you want to look at your wine. You want to hold the glass at a slight angle and observe the wine's color and clarity. The shade can hint at the wine's age and grape variety. Number 2, you want to swirl the wine. Now you're going to gently swirl the wine in the glass. This will help release the wine's aromas, making it easier to detect the different scents. Number 3, you want to smell the wine. You're going to bring the glass to your nose and take a deep inhale. Try to identify the different aromas. Is it fruity, floral, earthy, or are there spicy notes? Number 4, we're going to sip the wine. Take a small sip and let it roll around in your mouth. Pay attention to the taste, texture, and weight of the wine on your palate. Notice the balances between sweetness, acidity, tannins, and alcohol. And then lastly, savor it. So after swallowing it, think also about the finish or the aftertaste. How long do the flavors linger? And what are the final notes you detect? I will also say this really quick. You may have noticed that at some wine tastings, people will spit out the wines. That they typically do if they are going to taste a number of wines at a moment. Me, myself, I like to just swallow all of mine because I'm just like, whatever. But I do understand how the wines can impact the overall taste, so that's that. So let us get a bottle and let's get to tasting this wine. All right, so for this wine tasting, I am using my Bingham Family Vineyard wine glass that a dear friend purchased for me during our last outing. We were out wine hopping. And it's a beautiful piece of stemware because it has a really nice size bowl. It's a universal wine glass that is really great for tasting or drinking any kind of wine. And I know what you're thinking, I don't have any stemware. You can use a stemless wine glass, but keep in mind, as you hold the glass, the heat from your hands can impact the wine inside. So that can also alter your tasting. So if you don't have any stemware, that's fine. Just be advised how just the heat from your hands can change how the wines taste. Now today I have picked up something very simple from the grocery store. This is a Yellowtail Fresh Twist white wine. It's infused with peach and mango. So let's just see if we get those flavors in there. Now this is clearly a white wine. We're gonna pour this in here. Oh, wait a minute, I'm losing some. Don't lose it, Quentin. Now I will tell you right here, right now, that is more than enough for a wine tasting. Typically you do a couple of ounces. That's quite a bit. You're not gonna get anything this big at a winery or any other vineyard, but just know we're at home. We don't mind a generous pour at the house, so don't freak out about that. But just know that this is more than enough. So first things first, we are gonna look at our wine, and you hold it at a slight angle. Now this particular wine does have a slight fizz, and I know what you're thinking. Well, what if I have champagne? Yes, you want to put champagne in this glass as well. That's even for general serving. Quick little FYI, everybody loves a good flute. I love a good flute too. However, that flute does not allow you to truly enjoy all of your champagne or sparkling wine. So feel free in serving your champagne or sparkling wine in a universal wine glass. But we're gonna hold to the side so we can observe the color and the clarity of this wine. And again, looking at that can give you a hint to the age of the grapes, as well as the variety of grapes that was used. I myself have not mastered that part of the tasting, but the more we do this, the more comfortable we become with identifying different grape varieties. Now that we have done that, we're going to do a gentle swirl. Just a gentle swirl there, because we want to release those aromas so that we can get the different scents. Now they say it's peach and mango. That's what they tell us. When I smell this, okay, peach is the very first thing that comes across. Like, it is so there. I do believe the mango is an after aroma. But I get it. I do get the peach first. So that's, God, it smells amazing. Can I just tell you that? It smells amazing. So we swirled it and now we're smelling it. We are bringing the glass to our nose. We take a deep inhale and we try to identify the aromas. Is it fruity, floral? Is it earthy? Is it spicy? We're definitely getting the fruit here. I don't get any floral in this. But I don't know. There is something else in there, and I can't put my finger on it. There is a little earthy something that's in there. But this is the beauty of continuing to do a wine tasting at home and really stopping to enjoy the wine before you actually enjoy the wine. So now that we have looked at it, we have swirled it, we have smelled it, we are now going to take a small sip. We're going to let it roll around in our mouth. We're going to pay attention to the taste, the texture, and the weight of the wine on our palate. And then we're going to look for, is it sweet? Does it have a lot of acidity? Are there tannins? Is there a lot of alcohol? Let's go in. It's a little dry. It's not very sweet, but it does have some sweetness to it, but it's not very sweet. So that's great. I'm not a big fan of really sweet wine, so I do like that. And in terms of alcohol, I'm going to go for one more. Hold on. It's on the lighter side. This is really light. I would definitely do this because, you know, I'm here in Texas. It gets really hot. I would do this in the summer for sure because it's just something that I know will not weigh me down. And that I can definitely appreciate, right? That I can appreciate. So now that I have sipped, I now want to savor. And again, we're not going to spit anything out. It's kind of gross on TV. But I'm looking at the finish, or is there any aftertaste? And then how long does the flavor linger on my palate and any other final notes that I may detect? I'm going to get one more sip in. Hold on. Okay. It's very light. Like I mentioned, it's not overly sweet. The flavor lingers for a little bit, but not too long. And there is something in there. I know there's the mango in there. I kind of feel like there's a little bit of papaya. I don't know. I keep getting this hint. It's mint. That's what I believe it smells like. I get a hint of mint in this wine. I don't know if it's in there or not, but that's what I'm picking up. But again, the more that we take the time to look at it, swirl it, smell it, sip, and savor, the more experience your palate will become. Now, not that you just can't grab your bottle and go to town, but I'm going to suggest grabbing your bottle, educate yourself on the bottle, and then we can go to town. You know what I didn't add to this? This also has some very light fizz. So this is great for a spring or summer day. Let me just say that. That's amazing. Here's what's beautiful about taking the time to really taste your wines. Again, you will become more, what is the correct word? Experienced. And your nose will know what you're smelling the more you take the time to look at it, swirl it, smell it, sip it, and savor. You're gonna get all of them in there because the more you stop to truly inhale it, it's gonna change your palate and it's gonna change the way that you look at wines and even describe them. Now, I will say this. I don't believe, it's my own personal thing, that you have to go from 0 to 60 when it comes to tasting wines. It will take time, because it has for me, to find the right words to describe the feel you get, to determine what foods you would like to serve it with, and to even get a hint of what you're smelling. The more you do it, the more you'll be surprised how knowledgeable you are about the wines you're tasting when you're out and about. And let me just add this one more thing. Doing the first sip typically gives you, in my opinion, your first notes of what you're tasting and smelling. But that second sip, sometimes you get this complexity of layers of notes and aromas. So don't rush the process. Take your time. And speaking of taking your time, we have a few gift ideas that will be great to not only help you host your next wine tasting event, but it will also keep your wine area witty and whimsical and inviting. We went to Willow College in Grapevine, Texas, where we were stunned by the number of wine ideas and wine gifts for the wine lover and the wine lovers that you know. Let's go check it out. Enter in Willow Cottage, located in Grapevine, Texas. Let me say this really quick. Can you get wine gifts anywhere and just about everywhere? Yes, you can. But I will tell you, this particular boutique, nestled sweetly off of Main Street in Grapevine, Texas, caught my eye for a number of reasons. They have a variety of tea towels and magnets and t-shirts and socks, shot glasses, wine glasses, the whole 9 yards when it comes to giving you options of wine gifts that the wine lover that you know will enjoy. So this is why I decided, let me go in and see what they have to offer. And they had plenty. Plenty enough for me to bring a couple of these goodies home. Don't know how it started, but tea towels are now my love language. Okay, I guess I do know how it started because I got a tea towel in the gift basket, and it's the towel that I use whenever I am serving wine and I'm taking it out of the wine bucket and it's all wet and stuff, and I'm thinking, I gotta put it someplace. So I picked up a few more tea towels that were near and dear to my heart. Number one, National Wine Day is January 1st to December 31st. Hello, yes. There's also another one, Wine Tonight, A, B, or C. Now, A is yes, B is A, and C is B. So the answer is yes, right? There's also a few others that kept me laughing, but also speaks to the person that you're giving them to, and it may just be for you. These are the messages that create a conversation and bring that joy into your home as well. Number one, controlling my tongue is no problem. It's my facial expressions that need some work. We are only as strong as the girlfriends we have. Love that. And my favorite, I need a tax person who's not afraid to go to prison. So the next time you're thinking, do I grab a kitchen towel when I'm serving my wine? Or maybe I should have one of these cute tea towels, one of these cute towels in my wine area in my kitchen so I can get the party started. Now that we've talked about how to serve the wine, let's talk about tasting. And I want to show you my favorite pick, a wine tasting placemat. What I love about this placemat is that not only does it allow you to really host your wine tasting, and let's just go ahead and put it out there. If you are a person who is just getting into learning about wine, it can be a little daunting. It can really freak you out if you let it. It's just grapes that have been sitting around for a while. It's okay. But if you want to have fun with it and bring in friends who are also looking to learn about wine, here's a great way to do it. You have this beautiful placemat with 4 options of tasting. Not only do you get to put down the name and the winery, there is a place here for the vintage, and then you get to rate the wine. It could be 1 to 5 stars for body, smell, taste, and color. And then there's also a place to put down your own personal notes. Lastly, you give it an overall rating of how you really felt about the wine. And then from there, well, it's just you and your friends, or maybe it's you and yourself having a great conversation about how you felt about the wine. Isn't that how all wine tasting should go? So those are just a couple of the fun and, well, we'll call it entertaining wine gifts and home decor that I found while hanging out in Grapevine, Texas. And I have to say this, I was literally in that boutique for about 45 minutes trying to figure out what it is I wanted to get. There was really something for everyone. As we head into the holiday season, I know you will be tempted to pick up another bottle of some kind of wine that you've never heard of, but the salesperson promises is the most popular, most easily accepted, easy to drink wine. I'm gonna ask you to pause for just a hot second. Think about some of the other great gifts you could give that are not a bottle of wine. Perhaps it is a wine tasting placemat. It may even be a book. It could be a stack of cards with wines to try. Yes, that does exist. Or it may be some really fun kitschy tea towels that match the personality of the host or hostess that you want to give this gift to. What I'm saying is this. Let's think outside the box and really put our arms around all the options that are there to bring living the life of wine into everyone's home. Talk about another fun-filled day of wine. Okay, so I am assuming, and I know we should not assume, but I am assuming that not only are you looking for some stemware, but you are planning, if not your very first wine tasting event. Now, I will say this, I am in love with the wine tasting placemats. Like, they are going to be perfect at my next event. I'm so excited. But if you don't have those, that doesn't stop you from hosting your wine event. Think about using a note card, or you could use a notebook, or you could use an app in your phone where you and your guests can taste different wines and write your notes down about the color, about the aromas, about the taste, about the after effects, or how you would serve it. All of that can be done even without these really cute placemats, because these are like those placemats. They are adorable. And I am certain that you have some people that you know who would love to get these tea towels and have them at the wine bar. Like, who needs to do boring tea towels? We don't need that. But these are the kind of tea towels that let everybody know what's going down in your house. So as we wind up, as we wind up and wind down this episode, I wish all of you more luck and great adventures as you go out and explore this beautiful world of wine. And when you do your wine tasting, let us know. We'd be so happy to know how it went for you. Until then, we'll see you in the next one.